If you're in the construction industry and you've got a website that isn't necessarily generating enough leads every month, this video is for you. We've helped trade businesses just like yours double or even triple their conversion rates by identifying key issues with their websites or landing pages. And today, I'm going to show you how you can do it too. This video is a step-by-step guide with a proven framework to show you why your website might not be converting and how to fix it. I'm going to cover absolutely everything in this video, so you're going to want to watch it all to not miss a single step. And this video in particular is if you're running paid ads, you're doing SEO, or you're getting traffic somehow to the website, but you're not necessarily getting any leads out of it. So you've got ad spend, but you're struggling with getting a return on your investment. And it could very well be that the website is the problem. You're going to learn today a proven framework to analyze and improve with some real examples and actionable steps for implementation. What this video is going to answer is why your ads are not turning into leads, what's stopping a visitor from turning into a lead, how can I find and fix the bottlenecks, and simple changes to boost the results. Hey, my name's Andrei, I own Elite Exposure, and I own a lead generation agency specifically for construction, where we put systems into your business to help you generate more leads and become more profitable. And over these past 3 years, I've actually created more than 100 high converting landing pages, typically converting between 15 and 20%, and I'm going to show you exactly how we can do that in this video. By the end of this video, you're going to have a clear strategy that you can implement for your website or landing pages so that you can convert more leads and make more money as a result of it. So you want to watch this video because you want to turn your website into a lead generation machine. Remember that this website is literally your 24/7 salesman. The better you can have this, the more leads you're going to get, the more jobs you're going to close, and the more profitable you're going to be. When you get more leads, you make more money. If you don't have really good images and you don't have Google reviews and you're just using stock images, you're going to want to get as many good photos and good Google reviews as possible, and making this landing page and converting really highly is going to be a lot easier for you. So live example here, what we've done is we've done just a landing page, and it's quite simple really. So it's just a single page, it's got lots of great photos, we're showing off all the great Google reviews, and the whole page has offers on it. Each section here has a purpose, so there's call to actions everywhere so that we can get in touch with the plumber. If we want to know a little more information, we can click on these buttons and it takes us there. We've got more Google reviews. Here's how we can get in touch with them. Here's some offers we can take advantage of. This is all the services that we do. Here's a reason why you should call us over someone else. And this is all you really need, guys. It's not too complicated, but the way you lay these out, which is what I'm going to show you later in this video, it does make a big difference. Another example here is we've got this HiAb company. Now they started running Google ads and they were hardly getting any conversions as a result. And you can see some of the reasons why. The website is a little outdated. It hasn't been updated in quite a few years. We're not showing any Google reviews whatsoever. There's no nice photos of anything, at least nicely laid out. And there's not really too many call to actions either. And in terms of design, it's not quite there for something in 2024, 2025. Now, if we ever look at the landing page that is converting at 20%, we've made a very clear hero section. We've pointed out exactly where we are. We've got a nice banner image, and we've got a way to get in touch with the company over several buttons. We've got some great copy here as to why you should choose us. Now, this is a very simple page, and design-wise, it's not the flashiest thing out there, but it 100% works. And this is all you really need, is lots of nice images and just a clear process step by step. And we've got some testimonials as well. And this is all you really need for just a great landing page. Now, we need to understand what actually works when it comes to landing pages in specific. Now, you can pass this on to your website as well. It goes both ways, but most importantly, when people land on the page, they need to know that you can solve their problem. And the way you do that is by making a crystal clear headline, what you do. So these are Brisbane local plumbers. It's crystal clear, that's what they do. And you need to point that out on your page. So every single homepage, service page, about us page, it needs to be crystal clear that that's what you do. You need to build a lot of trust and accreditations, and you do that by putting lots of Google reviews on the page. If you're not showing off your Google reviews every second or even third section, you're gonna lose them, because the whole point is they're already convinced they need a problem solved. Now you need to convince them that you're the person that can solve the problem. You wanna simplify your offer with very clear, actionable steps. And what I mean by that is the way you place your buttons. It needs to be quite clear. That's the phone number I need to call to get in touch with this person. I can click here to book a plumber and fill in a form. It's just very straightforward, and you want to make it as straightforward as possible, because the more straightforward you make it, the easier it's going to be for the customer to make a decision and give you a call. And with the landing page, it needs to be a single page and it needs to be simple. Don't overcomplicate it with crazy flashy designs, because that's not necessarily going to work nowadays. And in terms of the structure, this can apply for both a website and a landing page, but I'm going to talk about both for now. Is the hero section, again with that nice headline. You want the social proof with the Google reviews. You need to show off your core offer, and you need to make it crystal clear that that is what you're offering. This is how we can help you. Because if the person gets confused and isn't sure, they're going to leave, and you're going to lose the lead as a result. You want to have a lot of benefits throughout the page as to why they should choose you over someone else, because if they can't figure out why they should choose you over someone else, they're just going to call whoever they like in terms of design or whatever. So you need to make it clear that you are actually better than the competition and you are the best choice for them. Now, what you want to do, and this is the very first thing you should do, is you should actually go and install Microsoft Clarity on your website. And when you do this, it gives you a whole range of possibilities. You can view what people are looking at in terms of elements, which I'll show you shortly. You can view how far people scroll down a page, and you can see what people are engaging with the most visually, and I'll show you in a second. Now, there's quite a few things to consider here, so I'll go through them one by one, what matters and what isn't so important. So when you're here, sessions is just how many total sessions you've had on the website. The average page per session is obviously how many pages on average people actually look at. The scroll depth is very important. So if anything's important, it's scroll depth and active time spent. I would say a good active time spent is at least a minute. That means they're actively engaging with the website for a minute. And the scroll depth is how far down do people scroll on average. So anything above 30 or 40% is considered great. So when you've actually got Microsoft Clarity, you can click here and go to recordings. And here you can visually see if there's anything in particular that's unusual, because if there's a problem with your website, this is going to point it out. And it's stuff you might not even know. So you're very well off to actually check it. The first thing you have to keep in mind is between desktop and mobile, people will behave differently. First thing you want to check is to actually make sure that your website looks good on tablet, computer, and phone, because you will have people visiting from all three of these devices. And if it doesn't look good on one device compared to another, they will leave. So you want to just analyze the behavior by the device. So when you're on here on the actual heat map, you can actually scroll here to the top left and you can actually switch between computer, tablet, and phone, and you will actually see a difference in these three devices. So they will behave slightly differently, and you want to just check that out. When you're on here and you actually click on scroll, you can see how far people go. So you can see here 100% of the people are sticking around for that first and second section. And then by the time we get to the third section, now we're down to 70% up here. And we keep going down and we're still staying strong at 60%, which is very good. And this is what you want to see. You want to see that people are actually scrolling through the page and staying on there, because it means they're actually interested. And if we keep going down, we're still staying strong at 60%. So overall, this landing page is doing a very good job at keeping people engaged. So when we keep scrolling down the page, we're still at 60%. So a lot of people are staying engaged with this page and we're not getting a lot of drop off. So at this point, halfway through, now we're starting to see some drop off. So if I was designing this landing page differently, I would put something there to make it more engaging, maybe some reviews, maybe a customer testimonial or something along those lines to keep people to scroll down even further. If we go to the desktop version of the website, we might actually see something different. So again, we're still at 70% strong on the second and third section. Scrolling down, we're still at 57%, so slightly more stay on desktop than they do mobile. So now we're starting to get cooler, and this is where you could actually add a section onto your website and get them to engage more. What I mentioned before is you want to identify critical drop-off points. So anything that's between 50 and 70%, you want to just put something there that keeps them engaged, whatever that might be, to keep them interested and not let them go off and look for something else. So what you could very well do is try moving a guarantee or a unique selling point further up so that it keeps them engaged, makes them read it, and then continue on reading beyond that. Another thing to keep in mind is that the page doesn't have to be super long. Like, you guys are in construction, everyone knows what you do. They just need a reason to choose you over the competition. So sometimes having a shorter, more organized and better laid out page is going to be more beneficial than making it super long, full of text that no one's ever going to actually read. You can use collapsible sections for details, such as this right here if we go to the facts and questions. So if someone wants to genuinely know an answer to something, you can put it in a section like this so that if they want to read it, they absolutely can. And what you can also do is just test different versions. So you can split the traffic 50-50, half go to one landing page and half go to another. And you can compare the data to see what actually does better and what does worse, and then make changes based on those results. When you have engagement peaks, you want to add some more call to actions to get them to act. So what I mean by that is basically everywhere on this page, I want them to call. So I've added call buttons basically everywhere because I know that 80% of my leads come from a phone call. And so I've added the phone number basically everywhere because the whole page is engaging. I've added it all over the page so I have as many opportunities as possible for them to call me. And again, you can use these heat maps to identify where the best place to put a call to action actually is. When you're on Microsoft Clarity, again, you want to keep very close attention to the engagement time and the average scroll depth, because the lower it is, chances are you might have the complete wrong copy on the website that doesn't make sense to the user, and as a result, they're going to leave. So what you want to consider doing is when you're on Clarity, this is an example from a friend's website that I don't manage, and I just want to compare the results here. So here we've got a scroll depth that is significantly less at 36%, and then we've got an active time spent of only 40 seconds. These are the two figures you want to pay close attention to, because the lower this is, that means that somewhere on the page you aren't engaging enough, you're not answering people's questions, and you're not interesting enough for them, so they leave as a result. Same with the active time spent. If they're not actively spending time on the site, that means you haven't necessarily answered their questions or getting closer to solving their problem. So what you can do if this is the case is you can actually go and just rewrite some of these headlines, change it up a bit, and see if it performs better, because you'll be surprised how much of a difference just changing the headlines can actually make, especially the ones at the top. So if you want to do anything, you want to change the first and the second section, see how that goes, And if it goes well and it's in the green, so you're closer to that 90-80% mark of scroll depth, then you want to work your way down. I wouldn't start at the bottom because not many people are going there anyway. So if you want an actionable plan, you want to start from the top, change those 2 sections around, and then work your way down. Again, with high quality images. Hire a photographer. It's going to be the best investment you make, because when you've got really nice, clear images like these, it sells. The better quality images you have, and the more you don't use stock images, the more leads you're going to get as a result, because they know that this person is going to show up to my door. He's got a nice friendly face on the website that I inquired with, so I'm going to choose him. And to be honest, 40% of the time, you can actually get better results just by writing the headlines. Now, this is obviously assuming that the layout already looks good on desktop and mobile. If you have a bad layout on those 2 devices, fix those first and then work your way on headlines. You want a nice clean layout, because if it's not clean and it looks like it's from 2010, 2015, it's not going to convert. So you want a better design first, better layout, and then work on actual headlines. I can tell you now that the best websites have had user experience at the top of their list before anything else. Most importantly is you want to remove the dead zones, because when you've got a dead zone, nobody's looking at it, and it could very well be a very important thing that you want to show off to the customer. So when you identify these 0 engagement zones, you want to replace them with testimonials or visuals that will get them to look and keep them engaged. You want to make sure that the user journey is very streamlined, so that each section, one by one, makes total sense and it's not completely just out of the blue. So again, with streamlining the customer journey, you want to make sure top is the most important thing. Second section is going to add on to the hero section. And then from then onwards, you want to add galleries, testimonials. You just want to make it make sense for that someone who is strolling through it is just going to keep them engaged. And when you see a dead spot with the heat map we just looked at, then you can make adjustments to keep them engaged and get them scrolling to the very bottom of the page. Now, some more actionable steps that will help you even more is if you want a website designer, I strongly recommend WordPress with Elementor. These give you the most flexibility, so you can design really nice stuff like what I showed you before, and it makes the user experience really friendly because you can design something that's nice and clean, and there isn't too many limitations on what you can do with it. Alternatively, you can use Go High Level as well. That has a very simple user interface, and the website itself you can make look very nice as well. Nice and easy process, and this, again, it converts at over 20%, so it does exactly what you need it to. If you implement all of these procedures in place, you should easily see a 10 to 20% conversion rate, provided you keep looking at the heat maps and reviewing what the customers are saying about it so that you can make changes, keep people engaged, get them scrolling to the bottom and calling you as a result. Now, if you have a construction business and your website isn't converting enough and getting you enough leads, you can actually book a call with my team today, and we can actually build one for you that is guaranteed to convert higher than your current website. This website is going to work towards generating you more leads, lowering your customer acquisition cost, and you can become more profitable as a result. Don't let another lead slip through the cracks. Book on a call today and let's get your website into a lead generating machine.